Hello, everyone. My name is Holly, and for this hour, we will be going over presentations in English. We will be going over the types of presentations, and if there's time at the end, each person will give a short 2 to 3 minute presentation. So I hope you all can come and practice English through the topic of presentations. So to introduce myself a little, my name is Holly and I'm in Idaho, USA. And let's see where it is now 11 p.m. The weather is actually quite good. It's fairly warm right now. It's about, I don't even think I would wear a coat if I went outside. Let's see. You're welcome to check out my profile. If you'd like to, if you're interested in that. Let me get the profile settings for that. Okay. Right, well, let me show you the material that we will be going over. Hello, Ramsey. How are you today?
I'm doing well. What about you?
Oh, very good. Very good. So, yeah, it's almost the last day of November. I can't believe it's gone by so fast. So this whole
Yeah,
fall, this whole
this
fall.
this year is unbelievable. Everything is going fast.
Yeah, it's every year it seems to go faster and faster and faster. Do you remember back when we were kids and it took forever for anything to happen?
Yeah, yeah. And some people says that um, everything will be fast after the some age, not
Yeah,
before.
yeah, exactly, exactly. It will
Maybe
go.
after the 40, after the 50. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it seems like, well, for me, almost every year has gotten better after 26. 26 was before that. I didn't wasn't all that fun, but so. Hi, Damijan. Welcome back again. So, Damijan from Kazakhstan. This is Rimzi from Turkey. And
Solomon.
so, yeah, Rimzi, question for you guys. Do you guys celebrate Christmas in Turkey?
Yes.
No.
No?
No,
For Turkey, no. Christmas
not.
is special meaning, you know. It's not
Okay.
New Year Eve. It's
Okay.
different.
So you do celebrate, but you celebrate New Year's and
Yes, yes.
okay. In Kazakhstan, do you guys celebrate Christmas?
But we have the national Christmas.
Oh,
It's
do
in
you?
March. But we also celebrate the Christmas Day.
Okay.
We have the
Okay.
two celebrate holidays.
Uh-huh. All right. And how about welcome, Luo? Question for you. In China, do you guys celebrate Christmas? I don't think you do. Do you?
Basically, not everybody. We don't have a form Christmas day. I mean holiday, but I think most of the people will celebrate it after the
Uh-huh.
work.
After work, yeah. So it won't be a day off work or a national holiday, but many people observe the day. So,
Yeah.
mhm. Okay. Yeah, because it's kind of the next holiday that's coming up, and I I want to ask everybody, are you shopping? Are you preparing for Christmas? But then I realize not all the countries have Christmas, so or do not celebrate it the same way. So, um,
Sorry, I forgot to say
uh-huh,
we have some Christian people in Turkey.
uh-huh,
They are minority, but they have Orthodox
mm-hmm,
Orthodox religion, and
mm-hmm,
uh, also they celebrate Christmas.
Okay, so they observe the day as
Yes.
well, but it's not a national holiday or anything like
Yeah,
that.
no, no.
Yeah, I remember when I went to Dubai. It was Christmas 2000. It was Christmas 2006, and I arrived on Christmas Day in the 25th, and my friend took me shopping, and I was very surprised because I didn't expect this, but they had a Christmas tree and Christmas music going on. I'm like, wait a minute, we're in Dubai. But my friend explained that there's many expats and many foreigners in Dubai, so that was why. But all right, well, today's topic is on presentations, and hi Jakob, how are you? Can you speak? We do hear your computer, but we do not hear your voice. If you're trying to speak, we cannot hear anything. So.
Hello once again.
Hello. Okay, you're back. All right, and Greg is back too. Welcome. So almost the same class as last time, except we've added Ramsey, and looks like who is Midori? Is Midori viewing, or is he in this class?
Yes.
Are you Midori?
Yes, that's
Okay.
Jacob.
Oh, that's Yako. Okay, I didn't know. Okay, that you are Midori. Okay, do you want me to call? Do we call you Jakob or Midori?
Jacob.
Okay.
Jacob is speaking. So thank you.
Okay, Jakob is better. Okay. Yeah.
I'd like to say that Christmas nowadays is not a religious event.
No, not anymore.
But it is a commercial event, and it is a social event. Many people who are very active in these days of Christmas have nothing to do with religion. They are atheists.
Yeah.
And yes, they see this event as a chance to make more money, to buy more, or to sell more. It is not really an religious event where all the people are going to the churches or to contemplate or about God and so on.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. In fact, I've been thinking today because they have, Black Fridays was really big in this weekend. We also have Cyber Monday on Monday, where people are trying to get all kinds of sales, and so people are Christmas shopping, and I was thinking today how I would say the last 5 or 6, maybe 10 years, I haven't really bought hardly anything at Christmas. So I totally agree with you, though, that it's become very commercial.
Yes, thank you.
So,
But there is more in the U.S. There is more religious feeling than in Europe.
Yes, I totally agree with you there. Totally agree. Yeah, I lived in Finland for 11 years. And even in Finland, it was the place where you see the difference in the religion is actually Easter time, even more so. So, but anyway, Khaled, welcome. I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you?
Yeah, fine. Hi, Holly.
How are you?
Yeah, fine. I was in long vacation in Turkey.
Okay.
And also, when I come back, I can't catch you in the class because the time it changed, and every time I miss your classes because you start early. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't know it depends on the day. It depends on the week when I'm teaching. It changes every week. So because I'm still new, so what I do is I grab the classes that other people are not teaching. So for a while there, I was teaching at this time every day, and then for a couple weeks I wasn't. And then, so anyway, well, welcome. I'm glad to see
Thank
you
you.
all. So
Thank
we have Greg from Poland, we have Jakob from Germany, Khalid from Iraq. No. It's Northern Europe. No, I mean Northern Africa.
Beside Egypt, near from
Beside,
Egypt.
Libya, from Libya.
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was Libya, and then I went, no, it's got to be Iraq. No, it's Libya. So, and then we've got Luo from China, and then Rimzi from Turkey, and we have a new person from Demijan. He is from Kazakhstan, and this is his second Verbling lesson. So we welcome him to the Verbling adventure. So I'd say Verbling family, but I think it's more of an adventure to meet and talk to people from all over the world. This is great. All right, so question for you. We're going to do a topic on presentations. And I will, first of all, let's share my screen. And so the first question I have for everybody, who do you need to give presentations to as part of your job, and what are they about? So Greg, do you need to give presentations as part of your job, and if so, what are they about?
No, luckily I didn't have to make any presentation as a part of my job. I think it is more for the people who actually have some kind of influence on the companies, So it is rather for the I think for the person who is just the leader of the team, I think.
Okay, so maybe you can say, luckily I don't have the opportunity to make presentations, and it's usually, you can say it's also usually for the people in a higher level position.
Yeah.
Okay, Jakob, how about you? Do you need to give presentations as part of your job, and if so, what are they about?
Yes, we have in Germany this teaching method depending on the very active part of the students, and the students must learn the lesson at home, must prepare the lesson at home, and then give up a presentation in the class or at the university, and should discuss their presentation with the participants of the course or of the group, and so on. And they may deliver this presentation as a one person or as a group of 2 people or second people or 2 people or 3 people or so on. And presentation is a very daily way of life. If you speak with anybody about any problem, you really make a little presentation. You express yourself, you express your opinion, and that's a part of the presentation.
Yeah, and it's just part of education life in Western Europe, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. All right, and how about Khalid? Do you give presentations as part of your job? And if so, what are they about?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time, yes. Because currently I am the advisor for the Minister of Information and Telecommunication. So I'm just working in the presentation yesterday, and today I'm still working in the presentation for preparing the strategy framework of the ministry. So last time I was the Director General of the National Information Security Authority, and also I worked as a product manager for several years. So all my job is preparing presentation, and so I'm always working on that. Sometimes in the conferences, so in some conferences I should prepare presentations and workshops.
Okay. And what? So, do you have to prepare them in English or do you prepare them in Arabic?
Yeah, all the time. Sometimes in Arabic,
Uh-huh.
especially when we talk to the high level in Libya here. So sometimes you should make them in Arabic, but all the time in English.
Mm-hmm.
With the internal team, because all the consultancy company and partners is foreign company, so.
Mm-hmm.
So mix, sometimes Arabic, sometimes English, but I think usually in English.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Thank you. And Ramsey, how about you? Do you give presentations for your job?
Yes, I have a presentation and I give the presentation to our customers
Mm-hmm.
time to time. Presentation is most important part of my job.
Okay. And do you give the presentation in Turkish or do you give it in English?
Mostly Turkish, but I gave presentation in English time to time, but mostly Turkish.
Just out of curiosity, is the style of giving a presentation different in English than it is in Turkish?
No, I think same. First beginning part and then your ideas and then finishing parts.
Okay, so the introduction, body, conclusion.
Introduction, yes, yeah, same.
Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, I just know that in writing, at least my frame of reference is, of course, from Finland, where I lived for so long. In Finland, it was speeches and also when you write, they always wait to give the main idea to the end of to the end, where in English you give it in the beginning. So just was wondering about Turkish. All right. So Demijan, how about you? Do you need to give presentations as part of your job, and if so, what are they about, or what language are they in?
I gave the presentation when I was 4 course students. And 5 students, and it's mostly teachers gave me presentation for homework. To do what you understand, show in the presentation. So mostly our presentation in Russian language, so because it's clearly understand,
Okay.
like the English. So.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. All right, Cornell, welcome.
Hi, welcome class. Hi, Holly.
Everybody, this is Cornell and then Ake, you showed up as well. So Cornell from Hungary and Ake from Japan, welcome. So guys, Cornell first, do you need to give presentations as part of your job? If so, what are they about?
Yeah, of course. I had some presentation concerning different topics.
Okay, so several. Do you have to give it in, usually the presentation in Hungarian, or do you give it in English?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah, both.
Okay. All right. And do you find is the Hungarian style of giving a presentation, does it follow the same format as in English?
Yeah, it is the same both in Hungarian and English, but it depends on the topics. For example, company's presentation toward new customers or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Or a new project milestones or deadlines or process of something.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and Ake, how about you? Do you need to give presentations as part of your job, and what are they about? So you're a graduate student, so you probably do, or you don't?
Yeah, I do. and both English and Japanese. Yes.
Okay.
And I've experienced online presentation too.
Okay.
That was interesting experience.
Do you find that giving online presentations the same or different than than your experience speaking to a group of people?
Somewhat different because I cannot see the audience face online.
Uh-huh.
And I don't show my face online, and I just show the slide like this.
Mm-hmm.
So somewhat different, and it's easy to review the recording online. So I recorded. I reviewed the first session by recording, and I noticed I was too nervous. So, and in the second presentation, I tried to be relaxed. Yeah, maybe review is easier than usual presentation.
Yeah. I had a presentation once where I was working for a company. I was in Finland and I was working for a company out of Germany, and my boss contacted me and she said it this way: "Will you give this presentation?" And my answer was, "No, I will not." But she did not hear the no or the not. She heard "I will." So she signed me up for this presentation, and I had to go, and I was very, very nervous. And I did okay, but what surprised me was how many people liked and shared the presentation. I was like, really? So it was about a language teaching project that we did where we connected a school in Germany and a school in China in the virtual classroom, and what that was about, and so people found that very fascinating, very interesting. So
yeah, Holly,
yeah.
By the way, you are right, but it depends on a personality of presenters as well, because I had many presentation, but I am always very nervous during and prior to starting presentation.
But isn't the nerves before a presentation important? What do you guys think? Isn't it important to be nervous a little?
Yeah.
Sometimes to be more, accurate and preparing for a thing. But I think you should be more relaxed than because if you are nervous in the presentation, so I think you can't do your job in an optimal situation. So for me, I'm always relaxing, and also I have to use my presentation skills sometimes. Yes, sometimes moving in the area, contacting the people, asking them some presentation skills to be open and relaxed. It's better for me.
Yeah. So for you, for one of the words you could have said was if you're too nervous, you could lose credibility with the audience.
Yeah.
Holly,
yes.
May I add something? I think nervous is not right word.
Okay.
Maybe we can describe with another word.
Okay.
But you need a bit. How can I say?
Excited.
Embarrassed. Maybe excited. But limited excited. Then you have to control your excited during the presentation. But at the first time, at the beginning, you need a bit exciting.
Yeah, and you need to you need to be passionate, show your excitement, but also I think have a little bit of humility that you're not. Because one thing that can happen, do you guys know the word cocky? You can become too cocky. You guys know this word? Nobody does. Okay, let me write it up here on the slide. If you're too, it doesn't seem to work. Okay. Let's see. Too cocky. To be too cocky would be
It is.
arrogant.
Is it similar to arrogant?
Yep. It's if you can be too cocky or you can be arrogant, and therefore it can come across really bad too. So, but. All right, well, let's go ahead and match these words, and let's match the following words with their correct definitions when it comes to visual aids. And I believe that this has changed a lot in the last, even in the last five years, at least in some situations. So let's go ahead. We've got overhead projector, a transparency or slide, a flip chart, a handout, a marker, a pointer, visual aids, and a whiteboard. Okay, can you read letter A?
Okay, letter A device that projects a transparent sheet onto your screen. I think transparency slide.
No.
No.
That's
overhead projector.
Yeah. Yes. Because letter A is the actual device that projects the transparency and the slides onto the screen. So,
okay.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, letter B. Greg, could you read that one?
Yes, that would be a document, report, etc. given to a people at a presentation. It will be. I think, I don't know, flip chart?
No.
No. Transparency slide?
Okay, it's not transparency slide. It's actually it's a handout.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, if you would have got it if you would have seen it, no problem. Okay, and Jakob, could you read letter C?
A large bed of paper sheets for presenting information. That's maybe this flip chart.
Yes.
You write on it and you make it to the back of the board.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So flip chart. And D. Khalid, can you read that one?
D, a large pen for writing on whiteboard. Whiteboard marker.
Yes. It is. Yep, correct. Okay, and then Khalid.
Sorry, because I answered D. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you did D. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, Khalid. Are you there, Khalid? Not Khalid. You're Khalid.
Yes, that's right.
Oh my God.
And
Cornell.
You asked me Cornell, yeah.
Sorry, Cornell kept saying Khalid. No, but Cornell and Khalid are not even close, so I don't know why I did that.
Similar. First word is the same. Yeah.
They start with K.
Yeah. So a large flat white surface on which to write or draw. Whiteboard.
Yes. So whiteboard. Excellent. Okay, and then Rimsey.
A long device. E.g. a rod for indicating things on a screen. I think visual aids maybe.
No.
Pointer.
Yeah, it's a pointer. So it is basically, yeah, it's just basically a long device where you can point at things on the screen.
But pointer, as far as I know, is a small device.
Yeah, well, when what depends on the kind of pointer that you have. So for example, let me go here.
Like a
last
pen,
class.
you know.
Yeah, pointer. Let's type in that. Okay, well, of course, I typed in the wrong thing. Presentation.
When you give point now in
Could be
Google,
this is what they were thinking right here.
Yes.
But I think, you guys were you're thinking probably one of these that has, it's basically, I think, like, this is a real traditional pointer. It pulls out like a long stick, where then you also have the pointers, as in they're basically lights, and I think it's the lights are more common now.
I think the meaning described to traditional pointer.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I was gonna tell. I had said when we first started this, that I think that if you look at these words, presentations have changed a lot since this was actually made. So, all right, Luo, welcome. Welcome back. So, Dejaman, sorry, could you read number G?
Transparent sheet. Transparent sheet that is projected onto screen.
Okay, and what would that be?
Transparency slide.
Yes, exactly. And I think that there's several words here that we do not use as much anymore when it comes to presentations. But let's do this last one. Luo, can you speak?
Yes, I can speak.
Awesome. Okay, welcome back. I did miss you when you left. So could you read number H, even though we know the answer is 7?
Okay, whiteboard. Number 8.
No, it's number 8, letter H. Sorry.
Letter H. Okay.
Yeah.
Since that the audience can look and join the presentation, films, maps, graphs, etc.
Etc. Okay, excellent. All right. So, so in my opinion, what do you guys think? There are several of these words that are kind of outdated. At least these 3. Do you guys still use overhead projectors and transparencies and pointers when you give presentations?
Pointer tend to be electric nowadays.
Pointer, the light pointer we still use.
Yes.
Yeah, if you talk about the light one.
Yeah. So that's
the old one, yeah, traditional one. So of course we don't use, but the the lighter is we still use.
Yeah, the light we still use. And how about the overhead projector and the transparencies or slides?
Well, I think overhead projectors is a little bit outdated because nowadays we use a bigger LED TV instead of it.
Yeah, and what is that actually called? At least. Does anybody know what what it is called? You said it something a TV.
Also, we call the new one. We call it the projector.
Okay, this right here. This we call actually instead of having it be a overhead projector, we call it a data projector.
Yeah, data projector. Yeah, but we call it projector. Yeah.
Now now this last time I gave presentations. This is what we were using. Has any of your companies gone to something even more advanced?
Yes, we have more advanced projector.
Okay.
Automatically opened, and it's. I mean, we use the whiteboard, and everything is more advanced. We have, yeah.
All right. Okay. Excellent. And by the way, Luis Alberto, welcome. Welcome. Can you speak? Okay. All right. So, question for you, Rimsey. When you give presentations, what type of visual aids do you give? What type of visual aids do you usually have when you give presentations?
In general, PowerPoint slides.
Okay.
PowerPoint slides, sometimes some handouts from this presentation, but frankly, I don't want to give audience all handouts of presentation, because during your presentation their attention is getting loose, getting decreased.
And because you lose their
minute by minute, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather to give this kind of handouts at the end of the presentation as a final document.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm the same way. As an audience member, I prefer it if a person is going to read their presentation, please do not give it to me ahead of time, because my attitude is, I can read it. Why are you reading it to me? So that's one thing, and then I read ahead and so forth. So, yeah. Khalid, what kind of visual aids do you usually give in your presentation?
I'm always using the PowerPoint.
Uh-huh.
And you know, in the PowerPoint, sometimes yeah, we should use the some graphics. Sometimes playing video, added the link in the PowerPoint.
Mm-hmm.
You know, statistic. Yeah, you need the graphic and statistic. I usually I didn't like to write a lot. Some people writing. I mean, to make the presentation is very poor by adding a lot of writing. For me, it's just sometimes pictures.
Uh-huh.
And I can talk about the pictures, and I prefer this type of presentation. Simple, keep it simple, keep it simple. Yes, and sometimes even I use the funny pictures, but it reaches the meaning. I mean,
okay,
give the people the meaning.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And basically the KISS method. Keep it short and simple. Yes. Or if you want to keep it, if you want to make this funny, you keep it simple, stupid, but keep it short and simple. So, all right. Okay, how about you? What kind of visual aids do you use?
Yes, my idealistic method is a combine of current method and digital method and handout method.
Okay.
On handout, I try to write a gist of my presentation, because it's easier to memorize or to review after that, if the people are interested in that. I like such kind of presentation. And presentation itself, I use PowerPoint slides, and PowerPoint slide is not so complicated. It should be simple, because the audience cannot process a lot of things at the same time. They see the simple simple slide and my talking or speech. I mean, so yeah, and some people use a lot of technique to PowerPoint more impressive. If I can, I want to do that. But keep it simple. I think it's important in the presentation, PowerPoint presentation.
All right. Okay. Does anybody have anything else to add?
I'd like to.
Okay, Jacob. Awesome.
I'd like to ask you to highlight the situation of job interview presentation, because this is a very specific situation.
Okay.
I mean, there are many determinants, many factors which are very important when you give up a presentation, which will affect your whole life or many years of your life.
Yeah, I think I don't have a lot to say about job interview presentations, because frankly, I did not prepare that, but I know from personal experience, job interview presentations really, I personally, I don't see how they're really different than the other presentations, except that the audience might be smaller. I did a job interview presentation about 1.5 years ago, and I was told that there would be 3 to 4 people there, and instead there was just one lady from New York, and then I was told that I had to pretend like I was teaching a class of 25 people, and there was just the one lady. So I went out there and I stood out there and I pretended like there were 25 people there, you know, and I kept calling on that one lady for some reason. And yeah, and then I also used the whiteboard just to show that I could use the different tools, and I ended up using a permanent marker on the whiteboard, so I felt bad about that. I couldn't erase it. But I really don't. I don't know. Does anybody have anything to add about job interview presentations? Has anybody experienced them, and how different are they?
I think I totally agree with you. It's the presentation. It should be the common. I mean, I think even the job interview is more easier because you have small people,
fewer people.
Fewer, yes, and also I think the difference here is the subject itself. When you're doing the normal presentation for the technology, for the conference, you choose the subjects you work on. In the interview job, so you have to be more know about the company, about the business skills. So just I think at the end you will use the presentation skills like body language, like it's very, very important in the presentation skills. If you have the presentation skills, I think it's very, very important how to communicate with the people and use your hand, your eye, something like this. It's very, very important. Yes, we should. Maybe here I think if I add the presentation skills. The topic is very, very, very important.
Yeah. Yeah. So the topic is important, but also it is easier in many respects because there are fewer people in the audience. But then of course it's not easy because you have a new job at stake. But then also, considering the fact that it is a job interview, body language is also very important. I agree with you, Khaled.
I think, Holly, it's not familiar for me. Presentation during the job interview. Can you describe?
Well, I only have just the one experience that I had. I had for this one job that I had before I started back to teaching full time. I had applied to be a trainer for this corporation, and it turned out they had 40 openings, and they had about 100 people that applied, or 100 people that made it. They had 3 telephone interviews, and then they invited us in, and we had to actually, after a short 15-minute interview, then we had to give a presentation on a PowerPoint slide that they sent us. And they told us that we could, that the audience would be 26 students, and that we had to, we could change it any way we wanted, we could do anything we wanted, but we would have to present for at least 10 minutes. And that was my experience, and it was just part of the job interview. And I got the job. I left thinking it was really bad, and then I was waiting for somebody to pick me up because I didn't want to drive that day, and the interviewer was out smoking, and so I went out and talked to her and smoked with her, and I think that's how I got the job. So.
Yeah, Holly,
Yeah.
Holly, job interview is a presentation.
Yeah, in a lot of ways it is.
Actual presentation about, for example, myself or
yeah. I just have never thought of a job interview being an actual presentation, because usually you just answer questions. So,
yeah, and I totally agree with the statement with from Khaled that body language is crucial.
Yes, I agree with it as well.
During both job interview or presentation.
I totally agree. Yeah. Right. Let's go ahead and let's go on to this text. We're going to do this, and then we're going to go over for the last few minutes, last 10 minutes of class. We will go over phrases that you can use within your presentations. So what I'd like to do is I'll have each person each person read a sentence, and then we will also fill in the blanks with the words that are above. So, Ake, could you read the first sentence?
Yeah, I completely messed up the presentation yesterday.
Greg.
Sorry.
Great. One sentence. So, Greg. Greg?
Yes, I'm here. After presenting the first few, and that will be a hard choice, I don't know, transparency slides. Yeah.
Okay.
I should continue?
Yep.
The overhead projector stopped working, so I had to redraw the sales graphs.
Okay. Graphs. All right. Jakob, could you read the next one?
Which number?
The third sentence.
Yes. Everything went smoothly for a while, but then they ran out of paper. The flip chart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mercy.
Okay, and then Khaled.
When ran out of the paper, we went into the second conference room, which had a large, maybe whiteboard. Yeah. A large whiteboard. Okay.
Excellent, thank you. And Cornell.
So I continue the presentation using handout.
No.
Or marker.
How about a pointer?
Pointer to draw attention to the graphs that I had carefully drawn.
Oh, that would be marker. I'm sorry. Marker. Oh, no, wait. That's pointer. I'm sorry. Pointer. And then Luo.
But then the marker ran out of ink.
Okay, marker ran out of ink. Okay, and Renzi, next one.
Luckily, there was a photocopy machine in the room, so I made a copy of the material and distributed the handout to everyone.
Okay, and Dave Majan, could you read the rest?
I managed to rest all of the presentation fine, I suppose. But I would like to know who was responsible for organizing visual aid.
Yeah, so who is responsible for organizing the visual aids in our company? Okay, and that's not working. Okay, excellent, thank you. All right, have any of you guys ever experienced a presentation quite like that?
No.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I had some similar experience during my college education.
Oh, did you? Okay, when you were in college. Okay. Anybody else?
When I was in a teaching training, I forgot my lesson plan to the class. And so, so I did it without lesson plan. Maybe I almost memorized the lesson plan, so I did it. But at the beginning, I thought, wow, I forgot. What should I do? Or something like that.
I think for me in the college, in my project, what happened to me is I prepared my presentation by PowerPoint. So I would like to use the new lab in the college. So, but the doctors asked me to why you did use the why you didn't use the overhead projector. So I said because it's new, it's better and it's more easy. And so at the end, finally, we moved to another rooms and we used they allow me to use the PowerPoint. But
yeah. See, and I had the completely opposite situation, Khalid. It was probably about 2001. My boss asked me if I would do a 3-hour presentation to a group of Nokia employees. I think about 60 or 70 Nokia employees. And it must have been my second year. It was probably actually in 2000, maybe 1990. Anyway, so to Nokia employees, and I prepared some beautiful transparency slides. And I walk into the room, and it was a really big, very modern lecture hall. They had microphones all over, and all these Nokia engineers were wondering why I was still using transparency slides.
And also, it happened to me in 1999. So I think that was the transition time. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'll never forget that though, because the other thing that I did is I was fairly new to Finland, and I did not know that if Finns, first of all, I learned very quickly that when you give presentations in different countries, the attitude towards asking and answering questions are very different. In the American culture, if you're giving a presentation, you tell the people, please ask questions. And so after about every 15 minutes, I gave myself about 5 minutes for question and answering time. And nobody had any questions, because in Finland, if you ask a question during the presentation, that means the presentation wasn't done well, and so they didn't ever ask any questions. So that was an interesting thing for me. But it was, anyway, yeah, Cornell, Nokia has an outstanding reputation, that's for sure. So I taught there about 5 days a week for about a few years. So okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go on, ask.
Just ask. There's no question and answer time in Finland presentation?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. They do after the presentation, but what they told me was normally if the presentation is good, they don't ask questions. The only time you really, in their culture, the only time you really ask a question is if the presentation was bad.
I see.
How is it the same? And is it?
Holly, sorry. Your statement is not right, because
okay.
There would be any question after a good presentation as well.
Well, that's what they told me. But if it's a good presentation, they don't need to ask questions. And so because of that, I had to teach them that in the English-speaking culture, that it's very important to ask questions. And in fact, in some countries, for example, in India and the U.S., if you don't ask questions, then you're not standing out, and you need to ask questions. So.
Sorry, I have a question. I understand you don't want to give your question, but I think if you have a good presentation, they had to give you applause. So did you give your applause?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They give applauses and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. But I was very surprised. I taught presentation skills for many years, and that's one of the things I learned, which was a difference in the way the English-speaking culture and the Finnish culture does. They said, yeah, we do not ask questions if it's a good presentation. Now they might go afterwards and ask the presenter, but they won't ask in front of the group. So. And that probably may have changed just simply because, you know, in international companies they might have to. So, okay, let's put the following expressions into correct categories. We have the categories are introductions, main points, signposting, you giving more details, and referring to visual aids. So let's go ahead and add these. Practice these, look at these phrases, and then put them in the correct category. And I'm going to do something like this. Bear with me a moment. Okay, so Okay, so let's start with the first one. Okay, could you read the first phrase and tell me which section it would be in?
Okay. Are we all ready? Okay, I'm here to talk about. It could be introduction.
Okay. Now let's go ahead and do it correctly with pausing the correct one.
Yeah, I think first sentence is not polite.
Yeah. Okay, could you read it again?
Okay, are we all ready? Okay, I'm here to talk about.
Okay, good. So are we all ready? Okay, I'm here to talk about. Okay, so yeah, it depends on whether it's a formal or informal presentation, whether it's polite or not, Cornell. I would say, yeah, I agree with you that it's not polite in many respects.
And it depends on a place or yeah.
Yeah. So.
I don't think so. It's not polite. I think it's informal presentation.
Informal, yeah. It is informal. So yeah.
Are we ready? Sounds like a bit like rock concert.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Are you ready?
Are we all? Yeah, I guess it would be too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am here to sing.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, David Jean, could you read the next one?
Okay. Could you be a little more specific?
Okay, thank you. Very good. So is that stating the main points, signposting, giving more details, or referring to visual aids? Oh, we have some more sections actually. So, oops. Inviting in detail, dealing with questions, or concluding the presentation?
I think so. Signposting?
Yeah.
No. I think it's signposting.
Yeah, it's actually inviting and dealing with questions. So could you be a little bit more specific? So if somebody asks a question, then you might have to say that phrase. Okay. All right. Next one. Greg, could you read that one?
Okay. Good question, but I'm afraid that is not really my field.
Okay.
So starting the moment. Inviting and dealing with questions.
Yes, it is also with questions as well.
Holly, may I add something?
Absolutely.
At the beginning of the presentation, you can make a deal with the audience about the question, and you can ask the audience what kind of style they need, or you can say your wishes, that you can ask your question whenever you want, or please note your question and ask me it's after my presentation.
Yes, at
That's
the end.
true.
Yeah,
at,
that is
at
true.
the end.
Yeah, and that's usually in the introduction. You will state whether you can please interrupt me or ask. Please, there will be a question answer at the end. Please wait until the end. And so I mean I prefer people to interrupt, but some people like to wait until the end. So all right, next person, Ramsey, could you read the next sentence? Ramsey? Okay.
Yeah.
He's apparently. Oh, you're here. Okay. Could you read this sentence
Sorry,
right
my
here?
connection is not good. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay.
But I think you're behind. Okay. So, Jakob, could you read that sentence?
Yes.
Jakob?
Yes. Do you hear me now? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'd like to digress for a moment.
Okay. So I'd like to digress for a moment. Everybody know what it means to Oh, you guys know what?
I'd like to digress.
Like to